Saints versus Panthers. Last game of Sunday's doubleheader. The Saints, they played well, but I think the Panthers just lost because of a lot of missed opportunities on their part. So first quarter, you go Ted Ginn, 80-yard touchdown pass. The second half, they sort of see. I think the Panthers did a really good job of containing the run game. So I feel like that's why they had a chance in this game. But they went down 21-9 because Drew Brees was hot in the first half. They went down 21-9 and then 24-12 going into the fourth quarter. So really, the Panthers had kept getting to the red zone. They missed a touchdown pass in the first quarter, missed that field goal. So that was like at least 3 points left on the board. And it ended up being like a 10-point swing because Drew Brees threw an 80-yard touchdown to Ted Ginn later on that drive that led to from that missed field goal. So that was like about a 10-point swing. So, it's 24-12 going into the fourth quarter. Then, Cam Newton gets hot, throws a touchdown to Greg Olsen, 24-19. It's close. They're all playing well. And then Alvin Kamara, and then Drew Brees leads yet another drive, puts it in with Alvin Kamara, 31-19. But right then, Cam Newton looks at the scoreboard, and he throws a 56-yard strike, and it's a catch and one from McCaffrey. McCaffrey did most of the running after the catch. 56 yards. You got a touchdown. Momentum's looking up. There's about 5 minutes left in the game. Saints getting the ball. But here's what happens with the Saints. So you got the Saints coming up like 2-minute warning or some shit. So Saints, it's 4th and 2. You're expecting New Orleans to, not go for it. Let's punt the ball deep. It's 31-26. You're expecting to punt it deep and force Cam to go the distance. Cam took a huge hit. But on the series before, which I think is a huge thing, because I feel like if Cam was in that series, the Panthers might have actually gotten it on 3rd and 17 and might have just kept going on that drive, but they had to punt it away because he got hurt. They had to put Derek Anderson in the game. And Carolina, so 4th and 2, Drew Brees, no timeouts for the Panthers. So what happens is Drew Brees rolls out 4th and 2. Sean Payton thinks only 2 yards. But Drew Brees is in trouble, so he throws it away, and here's the worst thing that happens. The Carolina quarterback jumps up and grabs it, so it's an interception. And they lose 20 yards of field position there. They get it right back on a pass to Devin Funchess. So they're basically driving down the field, but here's the huge controversial call that they said the refs fucked up, but I think the refs got it. They said he was inside the pocket when he threw the pass, so they threw an intentional grounding on 3rd down, or 2nd down. 2nd and 10. Cam Newton just scrambling around. He sees nobody. He throws it out. He throws it out of bounds. But they were like, nope, intentional grounding because he was still inside the pocket. And you could go back and watch the replay. He was obviously still inside the pocket. You will be able to tell. So that was a good job by them. The refs catching it and throwing a good flag at a good moment. 3rd and 23. I think this is also a big miss. He threw the ball to Devin Funchess, and Funchess, it looked like he didn't even try. Funchess actually had this ball. Had he had come back a little bit to the ball, could have been a touchdown and a win. But 4th down, 4th and 23 is impossible, especially against this new, improved New Orleans defense. So they couldn't get it, and the Saints escaped. Saints will advance to play the Vikings. I picked this as my NFC Championship game rematch from 2009. If you remember when Brett Favre was the quarterback, it was Brett Favre versus Drew Brees when they went to the Super Bowl that one year. And this year, if in fact the Vikings are able to win all the games, they basically have home field throughout. Because if the Eagles probably, like I'm predicting, will lose this weekend, then you got the Vikings at 2 seed, and the Vikings Super Bowl is in their new stadium this year. So, basically home field throughout if they win. Basically what happened to Georgia when they won that game, and then they had the game in Georgia because of the new stadium. So, basically home field for them. So, I think the Saints didn't screw up. I think the Panthers had a good game plan. But I think what happened was the Panthers couldn't finish. They couldn't finish drives, couldn't get touchdowns. Cam Newton looked kind of off. Then 4th quarter comes. They look a completely different team. They threw 2 touchdown passes, looked completely sharp, And I think had that grounding penalty not happened, I think the Panthers would have won the game. Because I think the Panthers were hot at the moment. They had the passes going their way. They had the game going their way. The Saints looked out of it. Offensively, they couldn't get anything going in the running game, so it had to be Breeze through his arm. And Breeze, first half, he had 21 points. Second half, he only had 10, comparing to the Panthers' 17. So I think the Panthers had the advantage in the second half, but I think the Panthers couldn't get it done because they had some offensive problems. But here's the thing. You gotta put the ball in the end zone. When you're playing against great quarterbacks like Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, I always say this. You gotta put the ball in the end zone. You gotta get 7. 7 and 3 is a huge difference in these type of games. And it's a 4-point difference that I think the Panthers kept getting in the red zone. They kept kicking these balls into the freaking uprights instead of getting touchdowns. So that's like 12, that's like an 8-point difference, I felt like. That was like a huge difference. Yeah, like I said, 8-point difference because they kept getting in the red zone, kicking field goals. There were like 2 instances where their drives, they were hot. And then they just couldn't put it in the end zone. So the freaking Saints kept getting bailed out because the Panthers couldn't do anything on offense. So I think offensive struggles. Panthers, the Saints get a clean sweep 3 times. How do you beat a team 3 times in a row? Just completely beat them, and now they get the Vikings. I think the Vikings are a really good, complete team this year. Their defense is playing well. Their defense has always been Super Bowl caliber. Their offense has always been the one that's a question mark. With Case Keenum playing well and playing hot, but I feel like the Vikings haven't played anyone legitimate lately. They did beat the Saints in the opener, but that was with Adrian Peterson as the running back. And I got Alvin Kamara, Mark Ingram, Michael Thomas, Drew Brees, all to deal with on offense, and in addition, Case Keenum has to deal with the better defense against Marshawn Lattimore and the more experienced defense of Cam Jordan. So you never know. It's going to be a great game. But yeah, I think the Panthers just blew this one. Cam Newton had a chance. Cam Newton is a great competitor. I love how Cam Newton puts his heart out in the game. I love how he plays well. The Panthers will be fine. Obviously, they're selling the team. That's how Jerry Richardson is out as owner. So we'll see what happens from here. I think they have a great roster that they can build upon. They just need a cornerback. I feel like if they go to the draft, get a good cornerback, they'll be fine. They'll be fine. They just need to calm down, take a step back in the offseason, and see what's wrong with the defense. Because I think the offense is fine. 26 points, and it's fine. Their offense, Cam Newton, they might be inconsistent, but they have Cam. As long as they have Cam Newton, they'll be fine. So I think the main problem for them is defensively. They just sort of put it together, and I just think they'll be fine offseason. But I'll be interested to see if Steph Curry gets the team or not. But I think Panthers offseason is fine. They'll be good. Saints Vikings next week. I think that's gonna be a good one. We'll see what happens. Divisional round next weekend. So I'm intrigued to see what happens next week.